I'd like to share with you in this week's Parshas, Achrai, something very beautiful from the Rebbe's father, Rabbi Yitzchok Zatzal. This week's Parsha we have all speaks about the avodah, the service of the Cohen Gadol, the high priest, on Yiom Kippur in the Beis HaMikdash. The Rebbe's father brings down from the Gemara, Daf Lamed Hey Amud Beis in Mesichta Yuma. The Gemara says over there that the Cohen Gadol will have to immerse himself, toivel himself in a mikvah. Many times when he changed over from the clothing that had gold and the simpler garments that he wore for that day, made out of linen, and he would go to a mikvah. So one of the chambers in the Beis HaMikdash, on the roof, there was a mikvah. That building was called Beth HaParvah, as the Mishnah says in Mesichta Midos. The Gemara asks in Lamed Hey Amud Aleph in Yuma, what's the name Parva? And the Gemara says something unusual that needs an explanation. And the Gemara says a certain sorcerer, a witchcraft, or someone who made magic in a non-holy way, a sorcerer, his name was Amgusha. Amgusha, that was his name. And he built it. That's the name Parva. That's the meaning of Parva. The sorcerer built it. And asked Rabbi Yitzchok, how could it be such a holy day as Yom Kippur? And a sorcerer, something that's totally alien to a holy place as the Beis HaMikdash, and he should build this room, this chamber where the Cohen Gadol would go into the mikvah, and not only that, but it was named after him. What's the meaning why we want to connect a mikvah of immersing of a Cohen Gadol on Yom Kippur with a sorcerer? Explains Rabbi Yitzchok. As we know, Hashem on Yom Kippur forgives the Jewish people. That's a kindness from Hashem. Now there's two types of kindness, two levels. There is chesed, regular level of kindness, but you have to sometimes be deserving to receive that kindness. And then there's what's called Rav Chesed, an abundance, the greater level, the Rav Chesed. And that comes from the depth of Hashem that loves every Jew to its core. Like we say in our davening, this explains what we say in our davening. We say, "Vanis filosi lecha Hashem es ratzoyin." We ask Hashem, this is a time of davening, and we're asking Hashem it should be a time, a ratzoyin, a time of kindness, a time of goodwilling by Hashem. And what should be? Elokim God, b'roiv chazdecha, with the greatness, the abundance of your kindness, not only regular chesed. And here Rabbi Yitzchok asks an interesting question in the pasuk. Why does it use the term Elokim? It should have said Hashem, Yudke Vavke, b'roiv chazdecha, because we know that the name of Hashem is Gili Elokus, revelation of godliness. Elokim, as explains in Tanya, adds up to nature where Hashem is concealed. So if you're talking about the revelation of the greatness of the abundance of Hashem, the Rav Chesed, it should have said Hashem b'roiv chesed. Why does it use the terminology, the name Elokim? And explains Rabbi Yitzchok, this is exactly what the pasuk wants to tell us. Dovid HaMelech wants to tell us that when there is the revelation of Rav Chesed, then even in the area where godliness could sometimes conceal Elokim, Hashem elevates even those levels and brings it closer to Hashem. So when you have a revelation of Chesed, you have to earn your reward, so to say, that Chesed of the Eibishter, and not always does it reach in areas where it's foreign from godliness. But when the essence of Hashem, so to say, his love for the Jewish people reveals in a way of Rav Chesed, then we can elevate even the Elokim, even those areas which conceal on Hashem, they also become, those sparks become closer to Hashem. That's why Yom Kippur, we know, the Gemara says in Yuma, explains Rabbi Yitzchok, even those sins that a person did intentionally, he knew what he's doing. But through the true tshuva, the repenting, the return that a person has, through the great revelation of Hashem, berav chesed, then even the zedoinos, even those sins that he did purposely, intentionally, turn into merit, turn into mitzvahs. Now you'll explain to Rabbi Yitzchok, this is the same idea. That the mikvah that was used on Yom Kippur had even a sorcerer's name to teach you that Yom Kippur has the power and the energy to elevate even such a negative force like Amgusha, a sorcerer. Even he will ultimately return and realize the holiness of the Beis HaMikdash, and he will change his ways and come closer to Hashem. So just like we have on Yom Kippur's doinis naslekezochias, also over here, Elakim berev chazdecha, that even this place that a sorcerer built, even if someone fell so low, he also will return to Hashem with the power of Yom Kippur. Because Yom Kippur is the level of Rav Chesed, the abundance of kindness.